with her, it just hit so much home. And then when I started, God gave me this, I was like, okay, you know, everything started coming into play about mental health. But it's a lot of people out there that's going untreated.
Yes.
So we're gonna talk about that too. We're gonna talk about that today because, you know, there's stuff you see all the stuff in the news with these little young kids. You know, it was one very sad story. I know he had to have mental issues that was never diagnosed. When him and his girlfriend, very young, got into an argument, and I think she was at the park. And I don't know full story, y'all. So don't, if I'm saying something wrong, then, you know, let the comments be what it is. But and he got upset and he shot her straight in the head at the park. She was waiting for her mom to pick her up, and he was just walking around with a gun when they picked him up. You know, so I know he had a mental issue probably because they're not dealing with their emotions. These young kids, they don't know when no is no. They don't want to accept no.
Yeah.
So they try to harm the other person.
Yeah.
You know, so that little girl lost her life because I think something was really going on with him. No one had detected.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of untreated going on out there. And Sister's gonna read a little bit about the untreated that we picked up and searched on.
Okay, so people view taking time off from school or work because of the flu or broken bones as perfectly acceptable. By taking time off because of stress from mental illness such as anxiety or depression, unfortunately is not. People usually believe that someone who takes time off from work, school, because of physical illness needs time to recover quickly. However, when someone does the same for a mental illness, they are usually told that they are lazy or the problem is all inside their head. Why is this the case? Physical health and mental health are equally important. However, people with mental illnesses are sadly stereotyped and looked down upon by society.
Yes.
The stigma of mental illness, along with several other factors, result in high percentages of untreated mental illness in both the United States and across the world. Although there are several solutions that can improve this problem, the analysts of the reasons why some people with mental illnesses do not seek treatment, lack access to treatment, and the various effects of untreated mental illnesses can help to develop these solutions. Untreated mental illnesses are growing concerns in the United States. In the United States, about 43.8 billion adults have a mental illness. This is equal to 1 in 5 adults. And among these adults, 60% were left untreated in 2011. According to the 2012 National Survey of Drug Use and Health, also the source claimed that 40% of adults with several mental illnesses such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder did not receive treatment. Untreated mental illnesses do not only affect adults but children as well. Approximately 17 million children in the United States have had a mental illness, and most are not treated. According to Children's Mental Health Report by the Child Mind Institute, 80% of children with anxiety are not receiving treatment, along with 40% of children with diagnosed ADHD and ADD, and 60% of children with diagnosed depression and untreated mental illnesses.
That's why you need to come over to this Android side.
Right now. Stop it. Let's see. It's gonna do it. 40% of children with diagnosed ADHD and ADD, and 60% of children with diagnosed depression. Untreated mental illnesses have a severe impact on the nation's economy. According to the National Analysis of Mental Illnesses, untreated mental illnesses causes about $100 billion a year in lost production. Although with many other countries, the United States has the highest population of both children and adults with untreated mental illnesses.
My goodness.
Yes.
Imagine all those people that's going out there. And then, like I said, with the children, we have to be so careful about these babies. Because you don't know what their minds be thinking. Yeah. And we say and do things in front of them that they really don't know how to comprehend. Yeah. So they get, when they say anxiety, it's when you come in the house and your parents are arguing and you know something is going on, but you just can't, your little mind don't know what's going on, why it's going on. But you know, it's screaming, it's yelling, you know, somebody's crying, somebody's angry, and when you come in the house the next day, then everything's okay. Yeah. And now they're trying to figure out, is it going to happen again? Yeah. Was that a one-time thing? Yeah. You know, and then some kids have to get used to adults acting crazy all the time. Yeah. And you know, the anxiety comes in.
And every child takes it differently. Mm-hmm. So I was just watching this movie. I think it's Hillbilly. It was Hillbilly something. And the mama, she kept just getting on drugs, getting on drugs, getting on drugs, getting on drugs. Mm-hmm. Well, she had a daughter and a son. So the son, he ended up going off to law school and everything. And so he got a phone call, and he had interviews all that week. So he got a phone call that his mom had an OD. So he left, went back, tried to get her in a little treatment thing or whatever, and she refused. I mean, he had all his little cards. He like put 1,000 on that card, 500 on this one, 1,000 on that one, 500 on this one. And when she looked and seen it, she hopped up and left. I don't want to do this. I'm not doing it. He was like, do you want to die? Like, why are you doing this to yourself or whatever? And so she ran off and went into the car, smoked a little cigarette. And so the daughter comes out. And here I am thinking that she got molested. She used to get beat.
Yeah.
So the daughter finally, the sister tells the brother, mom was there when grandma set her daddy on fire. So he would come in drunk and they would argue, and the mama would put them in the closet. Right. And so when she'll put him in the closet. And so this one particular time they was upstairs, and so she came down and she was like, you gonna quit coming in here drunk? And he was laying on the couch and he was drunk as I don't know what. And they came down the stairs and they was looking, and the mama set his back on fire. Oh, and so she came downstairs and she threw the blanket over, because the daddy kept tossing and turning, but I guess he was so drunk he could not get the fire off his back. So she took the blanket and she down the fire, and that just had her on drugs, something that she could not. That is traumatizing to a child.
It is.
I saved my daddy's life, and so you can't think that just that one time that you got beat up in front of your child, or even if you and your cousin fighting, can't think that one time or that one thing didn't affect your child. That could affect the child for the rest of her life or his life, because you didn't explain it, or you didn't look out for them or talk to them about it. And sometimes you know, it's still with my kids, the things that they went through and how they acted out. I wish you could tell me exactly what brought you to this, because it could be something just as simple as me leaving their dad. That's right. You know what I mean? They was 2 and 4 when I left their dad, and it could be just as simple as that. Yes. And that they just can't cope with life. So, even just an adult and a child, you do have to get to the ground root of that thing. Yes, and treat them accordingly. Every child different. Yes. It's so sad. It is. One little thing can just have you just the rest of your life just stuck in your head. Yes. Can't get it off.
And that's actually one of the causes that I've seen. It's 3 causes, like hereditary, meaning that's some things that we do that's already in our DNA that we don't even know, because we haven't researched it on our history, So some of the mental illness is hereditary, like autism. ADHD is hereditary. Bipolar is hereditary. Major depression can be hereditary. Yes, and trauma is one of the other ones that you just mentioned. And another one is health issues. People being pain, they go through some things. Yeah. And they feel like the world is looking at them kind of funny or different because they're in pain or they're going through something physically. Yeah. And so that brings them to a mental illness. Yeah. But the trauma, I think, is the one that we most all have most of the time, which is the post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's not just for the military coming out, it's for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
Anyone who had a trauma that changes their life. And there's so much out there that can change abuse.
Yeah.
Any kind of abuse.
Taking care of your parent. Well, you
Yeah.
can't live your life. You
That's
taking
right.
care of a sick parent. It could just be traumatizing.
Traumatizing. That's right. So, you know, and these are things that you can get treated. You can go and get someone. It may be a lifelong treatment, but at least you're not thinking of killing yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, and trying to get rid of it that way.
Yeah.
You know, and my heart goes
out. First seek God. First.
Yes, because he will direct you on everything that you do. He will.
Because everybody ain't financially stable or have insurance to go see someone.
That's right.
So first seek God, because it's free.
It is.
He's there all the time, every day.
Yes, he is. You have to be patient and wait on him.
Yeah.
Don't think he's just going to jump in and do something if you're not doing what you need to do for him. But make sure you know that he's always the first. And I know y'all get tired of saying this on this show, but that's what this is.
Yes.
This is a faith-based show.
Yes.
And that's what we talk about. That's why we let you know that as the person to go to is God about everything, and he will direct you. He will direct, even if he direct you to, you know, the free clinics or whatever he direct you to. Take heed what God tell you to do. And some things I read about is the leaders in the church go through so much.
Yes.
They have to have all these spirits and all these people that they have to take care of. When you have a flock, these people's spirits are attached to you. So you want to make sure they're all right. You want to make sure they're doing good. You want to make sure that they know, you know, the Lord.
Yes.
And that they're seeking him.
Yes.
And so when they go through, the leaders go through.
Yes.
And they feel all of that. And
I told Trip on the way home, I said, if Pastor wants 2 chicken wings every night, I'll bring him 2
Two
chicken
chicken
wings every night. I think because he is saving lives and looking out for our conversation. If he wants 2 chicken wings every night, I'm going to tell him the time to be ready. I need y'all numbers so I can call. I will do my due diligence.
Yes.
I look out for my apostle. Yes,
That's
Lord.
right.
We need them. They pray for you even when you're not saying.
That's right. They're praying for you. That's right. Once you attach to them, that spirit hits you. It's just, you just know, you feel, especially with our apostle.
Yes.
You know, because he, you know, he's also a prophet. So he knows, he feels something going on, you know, and he might just begin to pray, and I don't know what he down there praying for, but he praying for one of his members because he don't felt them in his spirit or something. And let me tell y'all something. Y'all think I'm joking, but my husband, I'm sure claiming the baby. Let me tell you, is so anointed. When if it's somebody has passed, it'll come to his spirit, and he'll know if they like over drinking. Like he'll be like, oh my goodness, somebody drinking. Somebody really drinking. But they have him on their mind to where they said, I know I shouldn't be doing this. My partner got out or something like that. You know what? Like I got an apostle.